Good evening, everybody. Well, tomorrow is February the 29th of 2013, and it happens to be Good Friday. How do you feel about Good Friday? Do you celebrate Good Friday, Passover, Easter? I said the E word. Shh. A lot of places, and especially Heritage Elementary School, is banning the word Easter from their school, saying that they don't want to infringe on anybody's rights. What about the rights of the ones that want to say Easter? Okay, let's say you've got this group of people over here that don't want to say Easter and don't celebrate it and don't believe it. And let's say you got the group over here that do celebrate it, do want to say it. Why is it that the ones that are always on the negative side of things always get their way? Face it, we have been saying Easter for as long as I can remember. And I'm 54 years old. Why change it now? It doesn't make any sense. If nobody ever got so offended that it hasn't changed before now, why change it now? Why? Just because you're afraid you're going to offend somebody. I'm offended. I would be extremely offended if you would not let my child say Easter in school. This is, again, sending the wrong message to children in school, because the ones that do celebrate it, well, they can say it at home and they can say it in public, but they can't say it at school. And I want to know, if they do say it at school, will they be punished? That's wrong, because if you punish somebody for saying it at school, you're infringing upon that child's right as a Christian to say what they want. You're infringing upon their right to celebrate the way they want. And you're taking that away from them. And that's not fair. So, it's wrong. I say, if you don't want to celebrate it, don't celebrate it. But don't take it away from everybody else. I remember when my kids was in the first and the second grade, at one point they didn't want to exchange Christmas gifts. The class didn't want to exchange Christmas gifts one year because, you know how they draw names. Anyway, I don't remember whether it was Stephanie's class or Joey's class, but one class really did not want to exchange gifts because they had one little girl in there whose family did not celebrate Christmas. So they didn't want to do anything that year. That's wrong. Why take away from the majority because of one? And when I read about Heritage Elementary School banning the word Easter, that just pissed me off to no end yesterday. Just pissed me to no end. It's unreasonable. It's ridiculous. Children, and especially in elementary school, don't really associate the word Easter Bunny with Jesus and religion and what it, what Passover really stands for. They associate it with baskets and eggs and a big rabbit with a big bushy tail coming to their house to give them candy. And if they don't celebrate it, well then, it's not going to hurt anyone to hear about the ones that do. So, they already don't want you to say Merry Christmas. They want you to say Happy Holidays, and that's never going to happen with me. And especially, I know out here back several years ago at Walmart, they wanted all their Walmart employees to say Happy Holidays. And I thought it was so stupid. Even the bell ringers outside the door, Happy Holidays, Happy Holidays. No, Merry Christmas. That's what I said, Merry Christmas. And I made it a point to say Merry Christmas because, when you ban these words, these are words. They're in the dictionary. They're just words. When you ban them, then you're taking away the freedom of speech. So what's up with that? What are you teaching the children then? So they're going to start associating the word Christmas and Easter Bunny as bad words, as something negative. And the world is screwed up enough. We do not need that. So I say, and I know If the school bans it, if you have a child in a school that bans it, you have to go along because, you know, you don't want your child to be suspended. You don't want your child to get in trouble. But good grief. This is my understanding of it. To my understanding, the majority of the parents are pissed off because of this. Well, why don't the majority of those parents that are pissed off go to the school and do something about it instead of just sitting back talking about it? Go to the school and do something about it. And I think in cases like that, the majority should rule. You shouldn't pick and choose what you do or what you say just because you might offend that one little boy over there in the corner that's from another culture. What if he wanted to come to the school and say the Ramadan rabbit or whatever? Would they let him say that? Of course, there is no Ramadan rabbit. I'm just using that as an example. And see, I might have offended somebody by saying that, but I don't care. I'm using words as an example. I'm not meaning to offend anybody or to hurt anybody. And if you get offended by it, then that's your problem. That's not my intent. If you keep your mouth shut all the time because you're afraid of offending somebody, well, then we would all be walking around like Stepford people. Nobody would be saying anything because you're afraid you're going to offend somebody. I'm not easily offended. Sometimes I get offended by certain things people say, but just, you know, water off a duck's back, you know. I'm not going to make an issue out of it because maybe they didn't mean it the way it sounded, or maybe they really feel that way, and if they do, there's, you know, no skin off my back. You know, not everybody's going to agree on everything. And that's just the way it is. So, do you celebrate Easter? And if so, how do you celebrate Easter? I kind of miss that time of the year when my kids were little. And, you know, they would have their baskets, and the Easter Bunny would come and see them at nighttime. And I remember one year, after they had gone to sleep, and all my floors in the house were hardwood floors. And so after they had gone to sleep, I took a little pot, an little old metal pot outside, and I dug some dirt out of the flower garden, and I brought it into the house, and I put some water in it, made it a little muddy. And so then I took my hands like this, you know how you used to do baby's feet? I took my hands like that, and I got down on my hands and knees and did it all the way across the floor and over to the door, and then put a little cotton ball in the doorway. And so it looked like, and it, you know, with little paws going up the counter to where the kids' Easter baskets were. And they thought that that's where the Easter Bunny had hopped. And that was a piece of his tail hanging out the door. And they were fascinated, and they were thrilled. And they still remember that to this day. And then when my husband was alive, we had the most fun at Easter time because we would buy the Easter egg corn kits, and we'd buy up a whole bunch of eggs because he loved boiled eggs anyway. And I like to eat them with my salad. So we would just boil up a whole bunch of eggs, and we colored those eggs all the time, just me and him. And then after we decorated them and colored them, we always saved, you know, about 6 or 8 eggs at the end, and like to mix a lot of colors together and make just god-awful ugly eggs, just to see what we could come up with. And that was always fun. So what do you do to celebrate Easter? Do you have Easter egg hunts? And I used to love Easter egg hunts too. I always thought that was so much fun. And oh, I keep using the E word. Have I offended somebody? Anyway, do you intend to stop saying Easter rabbit? Not Easter rabbit, but Easter bunny? If you take the word Easter out of the Easter bunny, and especially school children, then what are you going to talk about when you go to school to talk about your Easter basket? Are you going to have to call it your bunny basket? That doesn't make any sense. Your egg basket? It just doesn't make any sense. I'm just bumfuzzled. Anyway, until next time, bye-bye.